A jam-packed Friday NHL slate. Not really a very common thing you'll find me saying, but of course, with no games on Thursday, we got a load of games here on Friday. Happy Friday to all of you guys. We are live here on PuckTime on WagerTalk TV. Andrew, Carmine, and Bryan with you. We have props. We have games for Saturday to look ahead at, and we have 3 great games selected to break down for all of you guys on today's show. Carm, good morning to you. Congrats on your big 5% winner on Wednesday as you and I continue to roll with those top plays. How are you, man? And what games did you pick for us today to break down?
Yeah, your Montreal Canadiens did their part and contributed 4 goals to that, the over against Columbus. Those Columbus home games continue to go over. I did discuss that one with you guys, but happy because that was the $5 customer appreciation play, and a lot of people jumped on board. So I'm very happy that that play won. We're going to talk Florida and Carolina. There's a lot of early games today, guys. So keep an eye on the times of these games. Florida and Carolina. We're going to do the Islanders and the hot Washington Capitals. Andrew, you're going to do your prop segment. We are going to finish it off with Colorado and Dallas. The Stars needing a win. The 6 and 60. We've got 6 games marked for Saturday. I'm going to go through those ones, and then we're going to finish it off with our show best bets and hopefully dole out some winners for you guys, because I know you guys are on the couch, stuffed from your turkey yesterday. But this guy here will tell you, who's coming in now, that you know what's better than turkey on Thanksgiving Day? Leftovers on Friday. Yes, guy. Leftovers on Friday. Brian, how you doing? And how you enjoying, before we get into this first game, your Thanksgiving Day festivities so far?
Yeah, everything's been great. My sister lives in town, invited us over and had a nice family dinner. And now it's time to get back to work.
Yeah, the time to get back to work. We'll see if any of these teams, Brian, tonight are weighed down, or today are weighed down by those mashed potatoes, stuffing, turkey, wine, or whatever else you guys have down there. But the Carolina Hurricanes, minus 160. This line is again moved. Another Canes line that moved. We saw that move against the Rangers quite a bit. They've got Florida in town. Florida finally gets a win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's see if that's a get well spot for them, Brian. I'm not sure or not, but plus 135 on Florida if you like them. Give me your thoughts on this one. How you breaking this one down?
Yeah, let's hope we don't bet on a bunch of turkeys today. Hopefully we can get some winners. Yeah, looking at expected goal share, 5-on-5. Florida, 51.19. Carolina, 58.55, which is actually second best in the NHL now. Is the LA Kings are on another nice run, and they've still not played as many home games as they played road games. And that's one of the reasons why the Kings are such a big favorite on today's card. We won't be discussing that one, but in this one, you know, the Hurricanes have a net 27 goal advantage between the two while playing 12 of their 22 games on the road. Florida has played 13 of 23 at home. Florida had dropped 4 straight before an impressive 5-1 home victory over the Maple Leafs. This is the first of back-to-back games for the Hurricanes. Florida on the season has played a first of a back-to-back twice. They won both those games. Carolina should be tested after back-to-back victories over Dallas and the Rangers. They are also a perfect 3-0 in the first game of a back-to-back this year. The interplay tonight having won 9 straight in this building. Florida is a team right now that overall is pretty much struggling. We know what we can get out of Florida. They're a very good team, but they're not playing their best hockey right now. Carolina is the team to beat right now. They're playing really great hockey coming out of the East. Problem is, we've got the equalizer in the line. I like Carolina here, but the line has gotten a little bit higher than what I would like to bet. I am looking to get Carolina at a better line than what we see right now. If I do that, Carolina will make my card today.
Yeah, you make some good points, Brian. And Andrew, I'm going to go to you quickly in a second, but it's I think the line it's almost teasing you to want to take Florida here at the plus money. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do like what Andrew always pokes fun at me at. I'm going for the instant gratification, the first period over in this one. Florida 8-2 to the first period over on the road. The Carolina Hurricanes 7-3 to the first period over at home. Give me the first 20 minutes with a couple goals, and I'm going to move on to the next game. I'll send it to you, Andrew, for your thoughts on this one.
All right, guys. Yeah, for me, look, when I look at this Hurricanes team, at the same time, you want to try and find spots where a team might slow down. Try and take a look at certain games where you can try and find a spot where, hey, they might come out a little bit flat. They might not look like themselves. But when I look at this team, and especially at home, they've scored 4 goals in a ton of them. And you guys know I love the team totals, and this is a perfect opportunity for a team total because the Hurricanes, especially at home, when they win and when they've had success, they're going over 3.5 goals. And, as we always say, through an 82 game series, through an 82 game season, not every game can mean the same amount as the next game or the previous game really does. The Florida Panthers absolutely took care of the Toronto Maple Leafs. They got back on track. Let's not forget, the Florida Panthers were kind of struggling for a little while. They weren't really playing good hockey, and they had the Toronto Maple Leafs come to town, a divisional rival, the two teams that are probably going to be competing all season long for the number 1 spot in that division. We've seen how important it is to win that division, what it will do for you as far as your playoff positioning, the teams you get to play in the first round, playing a wild card team versus playing a team right there within your division. But if you're going to give me even money or plus 105 on this Hurricanes team to reach that magic number of 4, I'm more than interested in it until they prove me otherwise. At this point, this Hurricanes team continues to get the job done. Look, I tried fading them the other day, guys. I had the Rangers. They were up 3-2 on the Hurricanes. Plus 160 was the number I had. I felt great. I felt like I picked a great underdog bet. And just like that, the score was 4-3 for the Carolina Hurricanes. So very well, this Panthers team could get going. They could heat up again. But it's Hurricanes or pass. I'm not sure if this will make my client card or not, guys, but certain teams we have to pay attention to with how they play at home versus how they play on the road. Carmine's talked a lot about how Vancouver, the success they've had, they've been road warriors. Well, for many years, Carm, but especially this year, this Hurricanes team is just getting the job done on home ice right now.
No, there, Andrew, and like for people who are tuning in and watching it either live or watching this later on, and they're like, well, if you like Carolina, why not just play them? Sometimes the price dictates that you don't want that you're not going to take them. It's too high. It's similar to any other sport where if the line isn't where you want, you just don't bet it. NFL, if you want 3 and the line is 4.5, you're not going to bet it at 4.5 when you miss the 3. So the opener was a good number, but it's moving forward. Andrew, before you take the lead on the next game, quick question for you because you obviously follow the Montreal Canadiens very closely. What's the news on Patrick Laine? Because I saw that they're integrating him back in, like he's with the team, but he's not ready to play yet. Correct?
The news is I sure as hell wish he was able to play the whole season and not get injured before the season even starts. I mean, man, the biggest free agency pickup pretty much since I've been alive or trade. And of course that happens. Carm, there's a slight chance he could play on Sunday against the Boston Bruins. If not, I believe he will make his debut next week, but he's not playing against the Rangers tomorrow. I would be very, very shocked if he'll play against the New York Rangers tomorrow. It's a good question because people are going to be interested about it. And one thing that's really interesting, and Bryan was talking about this backstage with us before the show, about kind of routines for these players and, who we look at outside of holidays, who we look at after, how teams manage injuries. Well, the deal with Patrick Laine is that they want him being acclimated back with the team. Like you said, Carm, they had him in a non-contact jersey. Then the non-contact jersey is moved into a regular jersey at practice. And now he's on this road trip with them, right? Columbus, New York Rangers, the Boston Bruins, to see if he can, get back in the old swing of things. And Martin St. Louis in the press conference, Carm, he said, well, does Sunday count as this week? Because earlier this week, they asked him, are we going to see Patrick Laine in the lineup this week? And he said, well, does Sunday count as this week or next week? So that was kind of a funny little hint to wonder maybe he'll get in or maybe not. And who knows, maybe that all-star coming back in the lineup will work the same way as, a coach getting fired or, a trade or something to spark the team. But you guys know I'm a fan. Anything I say is going to be a little bit more lenient towards some optimism for that team. But Carm, in all seriousness, he could be back Sunday, but it looks like he will be back in the lineup next week. All right, Bryan, we're going to go to you for Islanders and Capitals. This game is interesting for a couple different reasons. And the first one, these comments that Patrick Roy said, the head coach of the Islanders, pretty much said, they're doing everything they can. They're working their asses off, but they just don't have it. And he pretty much called out his GM without really being too personal and said, I'm working with the team that he gave me. Like, to me, that's like pretty brutal for him to say that. And of course, this Washington Capitals team, I know, has treated you very well this season. What's the move after you hear a coach say, like, hey, look, I'm trying to work with this team, but it's just not good enough, pretty much?
Hey, I'm all into honesty. I don't like the bull when people just say stuff because it's the right thing to do. Or he's coming out and he's telling you that this team is not as good as it needs to be. I feel very much on this game similar to the game we just talked about. That line moved 20 cents. This line's moved 10 cents. It hasn't moved quite as much in the favor of Washington. Expected goals 5-on-5 play. Both teams have been positive on the season. The Islanders 51.53, which kind of surprised me because I have not thought they've been a very good team this year. While the Capitals 5-on-5 are at 54.52, but obviously they're losing their superstar. Does have an effect on that. But Washington, between the two, has a net 41 goal advantage on the season. Islanders have played 13 of 23 games on the road. Capitals 12 of 22 at home. And the reason why I break down the home and road is because most teams play better at home. And if you played a lot of road games, you would expect some positive regression. Play a lot of road games, positive regression in that regard. Home, so it's a way to even out the numbers a little bit. New York has dropped 5 of 6 as of late, and the lone win came at home over the St. Louis Blues. Now, that was the last game the Blues played before these very successful coaching change so far. So you've got a New York team. Even the team they were able to beat was a team they just brought to fire the coach on. So I don't want to back New York here. They have more talent than they have shown, but I just don't like the way they're playing. Washington bounced back from back-to-back losses to Colorado and New Jersey with wins over Tampa Bay and Florida down in South Florida. So you've got a team here in the Capitals who are back to where they were playing before. They had that little hiccup when the big guy went out, and now they're starting to play a little bit better. It takes some time to get to play without him, but they're starting to play a little bit better. And the thing that puts me on Washington here is the Capitals have lost 4 straight games at home. That means they're going to come out here and they need to show a good effort in front of the home fans. I like Washington here until the Islanders turn it on and are playing better than they are. Washington, to me, like I said, a 41 goal differential on the season. Rarely do you get that team playing at home in this price range.
And sometimes it's just as easy as that.
Bryan, listen, I get it. Like the Patrick Roy thing, Andrew, is interesting. Sorry. The Patrick Roy thing is interesting to me because, you would think like the guy's a player's coach because, you look at in his day with Montreal and, where he pretty much, when they left him out, hung him out to dry in that game. And as he went to the bench when they pulled him, and he leaned into the GM and said, I'm never playing another game for you guys and trade me. And trade him is what they did in moving him. But calling out management, it never works out. Well, maybe he doesn't want the players to revolt, because when the team quits on you, like they did with the Boston Bruins seem to do with Jim Montgomery, you see what happens. There's a coaching change, and he's the noose around his neck has got to be getting a little tighter. You have to look at the fact that the Bruins changed their coach, playing a little bit better. The St. Louis Blues pick up the Bruins' former coach, and they've won 2 games out of the hops. So why not us is what the management might be thinking with regards to Patrick Waugh. Sure, the money that you're paying a coach comes into it, but at the same time, this team is 2 points from last place in the Eastern Conference. They need to string things together. But I will say this, I love the way the Washington Capitals responded when their goalie scored in his own net. A mistake, the defenseman went to the goalie, said, "We got you," and they had him. They tied the game up. They win the game. That's how teams stick together, and that's why the Washington Capitals are playing well. This is a team playing well, regardless of whether Ovechkin is in the lineup or not. 11, 4, and 7 in the first periods are the Washington Capitals. 11 wins, 4 losses, 7 times they've been tied after 20 minutes. I'm going to take them at home in the first period because, much like Brian said, when you've lost 4 in a row at home, a good start is what you want in the opening 20 minutes. And until the Islanders show that they're turning the corner, I can't play the team. So give me the Washington first period money line, Andrew, and your thoughts.
Guys, it's really hard to blame anybody that wants to take the Capitals in this game. What can we really look at statistically, situationally, besides that quote of a coach calling out his team for pretty much not being good enough? What can we look at in this game in particular and say, you know what? I love the spot today for the Islanders. And sometimes that can worry you as a sports bettor, right? I don't know. I know it worries for me. Sometimes, hey, look, what could possibly be anyone's reasoning for wanting the Islanders? Well, a couple different reasons, but the way I look at it is this. If you don't have the talent, you have to have the work ethic, you have to work hard, you have to have the coaching, you have to have the game planning. And it was a great point by Brian talking about the fact that when Ovechkin went out, the team looked different. Then they started looking like their old selves again. And as Carm talked about, this team has not just been a good team, they've been a good team early on. And they've been a high-scoring team as well. But in today's game, guys, I'm going with the under 6. A lot of times we talk about after Thanksgiving, after holidays, whether it's an earlier game, whether it's a later game, whether it's early evening, whatever it may be. I think a lot of things tie into some unders for today. And I think this one in particular, with the New York Rangers potentially lacking the offensive firepower, the offensive talent to get over that hump, to score 3 or 4 goals to win a game, they're going to sit back. And I've been saying this on the show for a long time, guys, and honestly, not much has changed. Even when this Islanders team has made the playoffs, when they've had good games, when they've had success, they've done it in low-scoring fashion. And if you notice, whenever they have a kind of a little bit of a streak where they start scoring goals and they're going over the total, it doesn't last very long. I'm going to take the under 6 in this game here. It's looking like it's going to be Sorokin versus Lindgren in nets, 2 goaltenders who have been great. The goaltenders, especially for the Capitals, have been phenomenal this season. It really bothers me, guys, because going into the year, I told people, yeah, this Capitals team is going to be a really good underdog team this season. And turns out they weren't just a good underdog team. They were a good favorite in a hell of a lot of games. And I haven't been on them much because I felt like I missed the wave. And that wave just hasn't really seemed to kind of crash whatsoever. But under 6 is going to be the move for me in this one. I just think, Carm, when I look at the Islanders, when I see any type of decent effort out of them, I think under. I don't look at the Islanders and say their coach called them out saying they're not good enough, and that means we're going to see a bunch of goals. For me, this matchup has the writing to be a really good defensive battle, and hopefully with some turkey in their bellies, they start a little bit slow in this game.
Just wanted to make sure I unmuted myself, Andrew, and not have Dan saying you're muted. You're muted. Listen, I agree that the Islanders got to do something. I don't know what the thing is, but you mentioned like the goalies. The goalies for the Islanders haven't been the problem. I don't think Sorokin's been the problem. I don't think Varlamov's been the problem. It's just the team just doesn't score. When your goalies have like 2.6 goals against average and you're losing games. It's the team in front that aren't scoring. So I don't know. Patrick Waugh's got to do something with this team. They got to turn it around. Um, who knows? A trade could be a trade could give them that thing, but they've got to turn it around quick. I looked at their schedule just to see if there was like some blip in the schedule where they can turn it around. I just don't see it. There's a good mix of teams for the rest of 2024, at least for the New York Islanders to face. So they're going to have to do it. They're going to have to roll up their sleeves and grind it out. And grind it out. Speaking of grind it out, Andrew, is what you're doing with the props. So grind out some winners for us. Give us 2, 3, or however many prop bets you have. Fire them out here on a lazy but busy Friday. There's got to be some plays in the afternoon. A ton of 3 o'clock games. Give us some winners.
Yeah, it is a grind, Carm. It's absolutely a grind. I appreciate the segue because I had someone commenting saying, Andrew, I don't know if I can follow your props anymore. You're winning, but you're also losing some too. Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen. It's gambling. The fact is we're going to win some. We're going to lose some too. I think I had a huge stretch of like a bunch of 2-0 and 3-0 days. I can't go undefeated all the time. And right now we're going 500 on a lot of these. We need to kind of get a 2-0 sweep here. And I have 2 that I really, really do like here. In the NHL. And these are streak based, but they're also 2 players that I wanted to target today anyway. And nobody would have believed me if I said that as of right now, if the season stopped today, the Rocket Richard winner would be Martin Necas from the Carolina Hurricanes. He is playing extremely well. He is ahead of all kinds of really talented superstars for the most points in the entire National Hockey League. We're going to take him to get an assist. And a lot of his points are coming off assists. He's a really good playmaker. In 7 straight home games, this guy has recorded an assist. I talked about earlier today on PuckTime about the team totals, how many goals this Hurricanes team is consistently scoring at home. They're a much better team at home. Not saying they aren't good on the road, but this team at home right now has been a tremendous team. And Necas getting his number from a point of a really high price down to a lower price with -130 with the assist prop is a really good way to do it. So we'll take Martin Necas to continue his hot streak versus the Florida Panthers with an assist. And the second one, we're going from probably the game of the day, Florida Panthers and the Hurricanes, to probably not so much the game of the day, one of the worst games of the day, Columbus Blue Jackets versus the Calgary Flames. And we're going to go with Kent Johnson, second line forward for the Columbus Blue Jackets to record a point. He's on a massive streak, whether it's assists, whether it's points overall. He's doing extremely well. And it's hard to believe, but this guy has at least 1 point in 6 straight games. At home, in 3 of his last 4 home games, he has at least 1 point. He's been elevated in the lineup. He's been elevated as far as the power play is concerned. And I'm expecting regression, continuous regression from this Calgary Flames team defensively, goaltending-wise. So people have to stop sleeping on this Blue Jackets team. They're making some noise right now. They're kind of calling a lot of underdogs right now. And this team, keep your eye out for a pretty good bet. So Kent Johnson +100, Martin Necas to record an assist at a pretty good -130 price. A big slate today, but just 2 props for me here, Carm. And again, guys, you can find all of our plays, myself, Carmine, Bryan, at WagerTalk.com, all of our best bets. And of course, if you guys enjoy watching Puck Time, do us a favor, hit the like button on the video, subscribe to our channel, and make sure you're following us all over on X. We're always posting our picks and promotional stuff that we have going on. Back to you, Carm.
Andrew, while you're going through those props, I was talking with our guys in the live chat. We've agreed that if you don't go perfect on the props, that we are going to get your head shaved on Monday. Whether we do it live or at a barber shop, you can go to a barber shop and just walk in and say, "Give me the Bianco," and this is what you end up with right here. So you might want to invest in some polish. So, but with that said, we still have another game to discuss, and then the 6 and 60. So let's get right to it. Colorado Avalanche, Dallas Stars, -135 on the Stars at home, +115 for the Avs. Georgiev is confirmed. Ottinger should be the goalie for Dallas, who are in need of a win. Brian, I'm going to keep mine simple here. I get it. Dallas is a very good team. I love this team, but last season these teams met 10 times, 6 in the playoffs, 4 during the regular season. The visiting team won 8 of 10 games last year. They went 8-2. I'm going to take the plus money with the Colorado Avalanche here in this one. Give me your thoughts.
Well, I know you got the 6 and 60 coming up, and everybody likes to take a look at that, so I'll be brief as well. This is going to be my best bet today on the show. I do have 2 plays in hockey for clients as well as a college basketball play, and those are up right now on the site. And I do have a 5% play in college football, but that doesn't go till tomorrow. But this one was our free play on the site, and I guess we're in a little bit of a differential here. Is I'm looking for the host. These are 2 of the league's best when it comes to expected goals and 5-on-5 play. Avalanche are 52.85, Dallas 53.36. Colorado's played 13 of their 23 games at home, so look for a little bit more negative regression in that regard. While the Stars have played 11 to 21 on the road, just a slight differential there, probably positive. Between the 2, Dallas has a 23 net goal advantage. After a very slow start for the season for Colorado, they have won 7 of their last 10 games. They're playing much better than they were earlier in the season. But after that embarrassing 8-2 loss to Tampa, the Avs bounced back, outlasting the Golden Knights in a shootout 2 days ago. I was very thankful for that one, as I did have Colorado. Expected them to win in regulation, but I did not bet it that way. I just took them straight up, and they did get that victory. Dallas has won 7-9 as of late, and they're 8-1 on the season in this building. Their records are going to show 8-2, but that's because they played that one foreign game where each team was designated as the home team. But on this ice, 8-1 on the season, and they're playing well right now. I was a little disappointed with the Colorado offense in that last game. They weren't getting any very good shots. And Dallas is a much better defensive team than Vegas is right now. So I'll take Dallas. I think it's a decent line, and this will be my best bet on the show today.
Wow, Brian, coming in hot, not just a play, but the best bet on the show. We'll get back to you in a second, though. We want to promote some stuff, and I know you mentioned you got a big play college football, but we'll hear from you one more time. But I'm going to agree with you on the Dallas Stars here on this one, and I think that one of the reasons why I'm going to agree with you is, there's, again, we talk about situational spots in the NHL, right? They play 82 games. There's only so many times a team can be highly motivated for certain games. And when I look at this spot in particular, I look at it very similar to how I look at when a team is off a loss against the San Jose Sharks. When a team loses against a bad team, it motivates them. It kind of wakes them up. It's a slap in the face a little bit here. The Chicago Blackhawks didn't just beat the Dallas Stars. They beat the crap out of the Dallas Stars. They made them look like they were the Blackhawks, and the Blackhawks were the Dallas Stars. They made the Hawks look like the Hawks should have been the -200 favorite, and the Dallas Stars should have been the underdog. So, Marco likes to talk about his sandwich games, and I know he likes talking about sandwiches in general, Brian? But hey, this is a spot where you want to look at the Dallas Stars because they're going to be motivated. They're going to be pissed off. Their teams, when they lose against San Jose, when they lose against Chicago, when they lose against my Montreal Canadiens, it pisses them off because you're losing against the worst teams in the league. So now you go from playing one of the worst teams in the league to playing one of the best teams in the league, a cup favorite, top 5 cup favorite here, potentially with Colorado. Give me Dallas and give me their team total up and over 3.5, -105. When I back Colorado or when I fade Colorado, it's team total or nothing because their goaltending is weak. They could easily lose this game 5-4. It wouldn't shock me. I still get my 4 goals. And when I'm backing Colorado, who knows what's going to happen with their goaltending. I want to just back their team total as well. But for this one, Dallas, to me, at home, off a loss, and not just a loss, an embarrassing loss. I'll take them to get the job done, but I'll take their team total here to get that even better price. All right, Carm, 6 and 60. You know, it's always funny, man, because usually, you know, you have kind of some previous games to base things on for the next day, but you had to give us picks for tomorrow when there are a bunch of games going on today. And I'm sure it wasn't as easy as usual to pick out some of those games, but you found a handful of games you like for the Saturday slate for us. What do you have?
Yeah, it's tough. I'll always mention before we get that clock going that it's tough because there's no lines out for Saturday. So I'll either let you know whether it's a regulation line or whether it's the money line, which is the full game, including OT and shootout, whether it's a puck line or an over and an under. The over and unders, I generally know that what the line is going to be, whether it's going to be 6.5 or 6. But with that said, yeah, there's a lot of these teams that we're going to be discussing now will be on back-to-backs tomorrow because of the huge slate of action going on today. So with that said, 5-1 2 weeks ago, 4-2 last week, 9-3 the last two 6 and 60s combined. Let's see if we can get a 6-0 and not the reverse of it. So Dan, anytime you're ready, start that clock. All right, Montreal and the Rangers. Rangers are in need of a spark, and wins over Philadelphia and Montreal likely could do it. The two teams they play on Friday and Saturday. Give me the Rangers in regulation. Ottawa and the LA Kings. I love the way the Kings responded after getting beaten badly in that third period. They beat Winnipeg. I'm going to take them to win here. Kings money line. Philly, St. Louis. I'm taking the coach's bounce. 2 in a row for St. Louis. They make it 3-0 with a win over Philly. Blues money line. Toronto and Tampa. Matthews should return on Saturday, but they don't need him. These two teams normally score goals over 6.5. Nashville and Minnesota. Until Nashville learns to win on the road, I can't take this team. Give me Minnesota at home with the better goaltending on the money line. And finally, Vegas and Utah. Yes, huge shocker here. Both teams are on back-to-backs. And this Utah team, which is a rebranded Arizona Coyotes team, always plays the Vegas Golden Knights tough. I'm taking Utah in an upset on the money line. That's your 6 and 60.
Boom! I like it, Carm. Gonna get a good price on that one,
Brian,
too.
I know, man. Brian, I got to get feedback from Brian. Brian, I know. Listen, it's tough. Betting against Vegas in Vegas. Both these teams are like I said, are going to be on back-to-backs with playing tonight. Utah, I think, I have the Edmonton Oilers. The Vegas Golden Knights. Where are the Vegas Golden Knights tonight? They're at home.
Winnipeg,
home
I
to
believe.
Winnipeg. Yep.
Yeah, home to Winnipeg,
Yeah,
which will be a tough game for them because Winnipeg plays such a heavy game. But can you see an upset?
I can see it happening. I would root for Vegas to win tonight, and then I can see it happening more because you don't want to be the better team coming off of a home loss. So, you know, hey, you got your correlated parlay right there. Bet Vegas tonight and bet against Vegas tomorrow and get some little extra money out of that.
All right. Brian, we're going to go right back to you. Let us know what you have up at WagerTalk. Guys, there's still that great deal going on. The $69 Thanksgiving Day special. It is great because a huge weekend of sports, college football, NFL, NHL, huge card today, huge card tomorrow as well too. And this is going to carry you through right till next Thursday. So just a ton of plays that gets you Monday Night Football, gets you Thursday Night Football as well too. If you're football fans, of course, you guys are all football fans. So take advantage of that $69 deal. Let us know what you have up at WagerTalk, Ryan.
Yeah, as I mentioned, I've got 2 plays in the NHL today. We didn't talk about either one of those games. Been on a really nice run. 14-8 in the NHL. 10 of those 22 games I've had plus money underdogs. So it makes it even better. Really seeing the NHL very well right now. Number 1 the last 3 days. Number 2 the last 7 days. Number 2 the last 30 days. So hockey's going very well for us. And I've always had a lot of success in that regard. So that's what I have up today. And as I mentioned, a big 5% in college football tomorrow. I've already given you my best bet on the show, but just from talking through these games, I don't do this very often. They've got the Grand Salami. Your home goals, you can get them as low as 110 at Pinnacle. So basically, it's a coin flip for the home teams. And you take a look at the larger road favorites, New Jersey, Seattle, Los Angeles, in Edmonton. I could see points where each of those teams will struggle here. I didn't mention the Rangers. The Rangers are another team on the road here as a favorite, and they've been struggling massively lately. So this could be a very good day if you like to play the Grand Slam. Play the home team at a pretty good number tonight.
Ryan, let me tell you something, man. You never have to convince an Italian to enjoy some salami, man, because I just cut it up and put it on a slice of bread, and I'm happier than what's the saying? Happier than a pig in mud, something like that. Andrew, I'll go next, and then you let us know what you have up to close it out. But as far as Wager Talk, 3 plays up in the NHL right now. My weekend cards are going up right after the show, so that $69 deal is going to be a great one. Take advantage of it. Less than $10 a day. My best bet, I am going to take another underdog. The underdogs have been clicking. Let's hope this clicks. Sharks and the Kraken play back-to-back. They're in San Jose tonight. San Jose seems to be zigzagging their games at home, 1 win, 1 loss. But this is one where I think they win at home and then lose in Seattle. So I'm going to take the Sharks here plus 130. They were pretty lively last time out against the LA Kings in that one. So let's see if they can do it again to the Kraken. And then we can release the Kraken tomorrow. But as far as today goes, give me the San Jose Sharks plus 130 at home as your show best bet. Andrew, what do you got up at Wager Talk? And give us a best bet and close it out.
I mean, Carm, look, if there was ever a day for someone just to buy a day pass, today is probably the day. If there was ever a time to take advantage of that Thanksgiving 7-day special, today is a good day to start it with how many NHL games there are today, how many NHL games there are tomorrow. As you guys know, NHL is dominantly the sport that I give out the most plays in. And with a jam-packed Friday slate, with already looking ahead towards Saturday's slate, it's a really good time to jump on board. Because here's the deal, guys. And I'm going to give you an example. Wednesday, I had a pretty good day with clients. In fact, I thought it was a real good day. And guess what? The one play I had up for sale lost, right? Anybody that bought that pick's like, oh, this guy sucks, right? Had a great day. All access, all customers. You know, I don't always put a package up with all my plays. I put sometimes just my favorite bet of the day. If you guys are with me and you're buying that 7-day pass, you're buying a daily pass today, you're going to get every single NHL bet that I make today personally. And it might be updated throughout the day. I might give you 1 or 2 today in the afternoon, 1 or 2 in the evening, 1 at night to end the day off. So make sure if you guys want to jump on board, you subscribe for at least a day pass, a 7-day pass, a 30-day pass. That's the best way to go about this. And I always appreciate you guys interacting with me online on Twitter or on Instagram, whatever it may be. My best bet for the show, guys, this angle, this betting trend continues to treat me very, very, very well. And it's going to be looking at the over 1.5 in the first period following a game where a team was shut out. I cashed this ticket with the Islanders and the Bruins on Wednesday. It was 5.5. First period goes over. Full game goes over. We're going to take the Buffalo Sabres and the Vancouver Canucks over 1.5 first period at minus 125. Take a look at this price here and this number at full game, 5.5. So you might think I'm crazy. The Buffalo Sabres off a game where they got shut out. Now they're playing a good Vancouver team. The total's only 5.5. But the way that you've seen urgency, the desperation, the motivation for these teams off getting shut out, it creates goal scoring chances for not only them, but also for their opponent as well. How rare is it, guys, for a team to lose 1-0 in this day and age in the NHL? Very, very rare. I'll look for a bounce back from Carmine's Buffalo Sabres. But guys, that will do it for today on the show here, Friday's edition of Puck Time. Thank you all for watching. You can find all 3 of us at WagerTalk.com. Make sure you hit the like button and also comment below to let us know what you are betting on this very busy NHL slate. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on Monday right here on Puck Time.